Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here. This morning I went and picked up the new iPhone 14 Pro Max. This is in the space black color, and we will be unboxing this in the video. Yes, I did pick up the regular iPhone 14 Pro in that deep purple color, along with the iPhone 14. Those actually got shipped to me, so those are coming later today. So expect a comparison video between that deep purple 14 Pro and the regular iPhone 14. So make sure you're subscribed so you're notified when that video goes live later today. Anyways, excited to open up the 14 Pro Max. I will compare it to the 13 Pro Max with size and just any minor differences. Obviously, with the dynamic island up towards the top being a big difference. Anyways, let's get into the unboxing of the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The iPhone 14 Pro Max box, fairly slim, simple. It is color-coded based on the color phone that you do get. So these are just black icons and letters. Now let's peel this part off and the bottom part. There we go. Now let's open it up, see what we get inside. First of all, there's a quick look at that space black color on the device. We're going to set that to the side for just a second, see what else comes inside the box. We do have our charging cable, USB Type-C to, oh, what is that, Lightning still? Bummer. Actually, I'm pretty bummed that they aren't including USB-C in the iPhones yet. I doubt they ever will, at this point if they haven't switched. And then finally in the box, designed by Apple in California, you no longer can have a physical SIM. So there is no SIM card slot in any of the iPhone 14 models at all. So you can't just pop a physical SIM. You have to actually transfer it to an eSIM on your device. I did that with my iPhone 13. The process was fairly simple. It kind of depends on your carrier and whatnot, but overall not too painful to actually switch. I'm not a big fan of the switch to eSIM personally, but that's for a full nother video. You do get an Apple sticker. I know what you came to see, the 14 Pro Max. I really do like this color. I'm excited to see that deep purple color. Again, that phone is coming very soon. One thing I noticed right away on this device, just by looking at it, is that the camera module is definitely a little bit bigger than that on the previous model. There they are side by side, just to kind of give you an idea. It's just, at least to my eye, I noticed it right away. The lenses are just a little bit bigger. We'll compare more in just a second. Now, let's peel that front off, and without even turning on the display, you can kind of look at that dynamic island up towards the top. You'll be able to see it more clearly when we turn the phone on. But while it boots up, let's take a closer look at the hardware of this device. Down at the bottom, we have a microphone, our Lightning connection, and one of the speakers moving along. On the right side here is just the power button. I do believe this is the band for 5G. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I do believe that's what that is. And then moving along up towards the top, make note of that camera bump. There is one. I'd say fairly average size. I wouldn't go as far to say minimal, but it's definitely not too bulky or big whatsoever. And then along the left side is where that switch is, that silent switch, and our two volume rockers. We want to point out that the rails are collecting fingerprints, just like the previous model as well. Kind of a glossier finish, a more mirrored finish. So yes, it will collect fingerprints. And then here's a close-up of that color. Will shift a little bit depending on how the light hits it. Our Apple logo, very reflective, and that camera module. Our triple camera system, the main sensor has a 48 megapixel lens. You have two 12 megapixel lenses, one being ultra wide, one being telephoto. I'm excited to test out the telephoto because you can zoom optically up to 2 times, optically up to 3 times, and it seems like they combine it so you can zoom up to 6 times optically, and then digitally all the way up to 15 times. So I'll definitely have to do some camera tests with this phone. Anyways, we are all booted up and ready to go. Just a quick look up towards the top so you can look at it with the display on. We'll take a closer look at this display in just a second. But for now, I'm going to run through the startup process and just talk about anything that's noteworthy. Time to set up Face ID. I want to make a note that there is a little indicator light right up there letting us know that that camera is being used. How to set up Face ID. I'm going to try and do this with the camera in front of me. It's always a challenge to do this on camera unless I completely reposition it. But there we go. It seems to recognize my face. And there it is, first one complete. Use with a mask or without a mask. It's kind of up to you. Less secure if you use it with a mask on. There we go. Finds my face, rotate it, and second face scan is complete. Since it is an important process of the iPhone 14 setup process, it does prompt you to set up cellular where you can transfer from a nearby iPhone. So if you have your iPhone already and it's on eSIM, you should be able to just transfer that eSIM over to this phone, or you can select use QR code from your carrier. Like I said, my original transfer to eSIM, I had to go through my carrier's website to actually do it. It was painless, it was easy. So just keep that in mind. Might have to go through their app. Just go to their website and see about setting up eSIM if you need to. I don't really remember getting prompted for this on previous phones, but you can choose.
Hi, I'm Siri.
Hi, I'm Siri.
Hi, I'm Siri. Hi, I'm Siri.
Hi, I'm Siri.
Hi, I'm Siri.
I mean, there's a group of different options to customize your Siri voice. You can say it on your iPhone. I'm going to set that up later just for now. It asks if you'd like light or dark mode. Up to you. Dark mode is great, especially using this OLED display. I'm going to turn on light mode just for the sake of this video. Normally I'll have it on a timer where it turns to dark mode around sunset. They do have their crash detection, but also coming fall, emergency SOS via satellite. They made a big deal about this. They're investing in satellite SOS systems where it can try and text emergency services if you can't seem to connect to any cellular network. Anyways, welcome to iPhone. Swipe up to get started. And here we are. Prompts to set up cellular. We don't want to do that right away, but this is the new iPhone 14 Pro Max on iOS 16. So that update is actually available to all phones at the moment, or I shouldn't say that, but most of the recent iPhones can update to iOS 16. And a very quick look at that 6.7-inch OLED display, Apple calling it Super Retina XDR display with that dynamic island up towards the top. And speaking of display, I can already tell just by looking at it that True Tone is on. So I'm going to go into display and brightness. I'm not a big fan of True Tone. I like it to be the standard. You'll see it will cool off the display a little bit more, add in a little bit more blue light. True Tone will reduce the blue light, make it a little bit more of a warmer display. It's just a personal preference. I prefer not to have True Tone on in general. And then I'm going to turn auto lock on to 5 minutes so that it's not dimming all the time. But again, automatic light dark mode, always turn that on. Now, one thing, always on, here it is. I'm actually really excited about this. I'm not excited about the lack of customization for it. You see, on, off is the only option at the moment. However, check this out. I'm going to lock the phone and look what that does. This is the always on display, brand new. Android's had it forever, but this is new on the iPhone where it looks like it's very interesting because it actually shows the wallpaper. Always on display with Android phones would just be a dark screen, but then just have text like the date, the time. If you tap the screen, you'll see it jumps up your shortcuts, but you can also add little widgets on the lock screen. Similar, let's see if I'm pretty sure I have that. Yes, I do. So you'll see how on this iOS 16 phone, I have some widgets there, some shortcuts. So it would add those on the always on display. But you'll notice it dims the display. It still shows a dynamic island. And then when you tap it, it will actually go to your specific lock screen where you can bring up your notifications, etc. Let's unlock the phone. And there's just a first look at the dynamic island in action. So let me set this up right here. I'm going to tap and then unlock. You'll notice it's dynamic because it's kind of shifting. Let's do this one more time where I'm going to unlock. It's waiting, it's waiting. I'm going to do it again, and there you go. You'll see a little icon show up. It's loading. For another example, I grabbed my AirPods. These aren't the second ones. Those are coming soon, though, so expect a video on those. I'm going to connect to these. Press and hold the button on the back of the case to do this, and just to show you the dynamic island in action. But again, yes, the AirPods Pro 2 are coming very soon, and I will get a video on those. I actually use these quite a bit, so I'll definitely be sure to get a video going. And with my AirPods Pro connected and in my ears, just a quick little animation up towards the top showing them connected and a nice little animation. Just another example. And as promised, a quick comparison of the iPhone 13 Pro Max and 14 Pro Max. Can you tell the difference? Now you can. So it looks very similar, I have to admit, overall between the two. The exact same screen size, just about the same weight, feel in hand. So nothing crazy different about the design other than that dynamic island versus that notch up towards the top. But overall, just in general, and like I said, the lenses are a little bit larger as well. The camera module is a little bit larger on this phone, but very similar design-wise apart from that. Speaking of that camera, let's open it up for the first time. Different photographic styles. So you can choose your style with standard, rich contrast, vibrant, warm, cool. I'm gonna go all the way back to standard. I prefer to just edit my videos or my photos in post, but let's snap some quick pictures. Let's get that shutter speed to see how fast it is. Everything's extremely quick and snappy overall. I can bounce to that 0.5 ultra wide angle lens, but look at this. Down at the bottom here, you have 2x zoom and 3x zoom. Like I had said, these are both optical zooms. They use different, I think it was quad pixel binning that they're using. Correct me if I'm wrong there, or I'll correct myself in a text. But there's 3x, there's 2x. I love that they give you the option for both of them because sometimes 2x is better, sometimes 3x is better. And that also will make for some great portrait shots because it is using that 2x as opposed to that 3x. So you get that portrait style. You'll see a little bit of a blur in the background. Cinematic video will also add a depth effect for that blur in the backdrop, similar to what you get. You'll see when I focus on something here, you'll see how everything in the backdrop is blurred, but that's just natural from the lens. This will be a little bit more probably using software to create that blur effect in the background. So overall, just about it. All I wanted to show off on the new iPhone 14 Pro Max. This is the larger one, so it should have the best battery life out of the lineup. I guess I'll have to see how the 14 Max is going to be. Let's jump into the podcast app and hit play. And while it's playing, notice when I closed out of it, it swipes up and goes to that dynamic island and makes it a little bit larger. It extends everything. And while it's playing, you'll notice it gives you audio icon there and a little bit of artwork, album artwork, so to speak. If you tap anywhere up there, it will open that app back up. So it's a quick shortcut. So if you're in any specific app and you are like, oh, I want to switch podcasts, just bounce right back into that quick shortcut. And that works with a lot of different apps, whether it's music, you're calling a car, using maps. There's a lot of different use cases for it. So it's really cool how they made it seamless and it animates really nice. It looks really good. You can see the cutout. You can tell that it's cut out like a little pill and then a punch hole there. But obviously they use software and turn the screen on to fill it in and make it look completely filled. If you look at it in really bright light, you'll start to see the cutout a lot more. It's just colored a little bit differently, obviously not filled in, but still overall the way I'm looking at it right now, it looks really nice and I love that you can actually interact with it. But anyways, that's it for me on the new iPhone 14 Pro Max. More videos coming very soon, like I mentioned, so be sure to click that subscribe button. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up as well. I'd really appreciate it. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about this new iPhone if you're looking to upgrade or if you have any questions at all. And as always, thanks for watching.